Good day and welcome to this segment of A Focus On with myself, Fifi Peters. Now, the deadline to meet the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals is just around the corner, but skeptics are doubtful as to whether the world will meet the 2030 targets. Notwithstanding the delays, the race is on for companies to align their strategies and operations with global sustainability standards. And to discuss Omnia's broad sustainability strategy and its key objectives, I'm joined by Seelan Sami, the CEO of the chemical manufacturing group, whose operations also include providing fertilizers to the agricultural sector as well as explosives to mines. Seelan, thanks so much for your time. So, notwithstanding the challenges, obviously, that the world is experiencing right now, and challenges that have led to some sectors actually kicking down the 2030 or their own 2030 targets further down the road. Pressure is on for companies to ensure that they maintain their credibility as socially responsible citizens, as it were. So bring us up to speed with how Omnia is approaching sustainability right now.
Yeah, Fifi, thanks for having me, and good day to all your listeners and watchers. I think from our perspective, we focus on sustainability because it's not something that we have to do, it's something that we want to do. We believe it's the right thing to do, it's the right thing for the environment, it's the right thing for our customers, it's the right thing for our suppliers. So in our core three businesses, chemicals, agriculture, and mining, we have been, over the last decade, been enhancing our value propositions to customers to ensure that the environmental impact they make, the way they use water, the way they use chemicals, the way they go about doing their business is more sustainable into the future. So I guess what I am saying is this is not something that we're doing to meet targets. This is something we're doing because we believe it is the right thing to do.
And can you elaborate rather on how you are managing just to implement your overall strategy against a backdrop of difficulty still, from climate concerns to pressures around food security?
Yeah, so maybe let's just talk about our agriculture business first. So our agriculture business has an incredible noble purpose. We're out there to ensure that the world is fed. We're out there to ensure that sustainable development goals are met around hunger and poverty. So we want to enhance crop yield, we want to enhance food production, and we want to ensure that farmers not only can sustain themselves where they are subsistence farmers, but also create jobs and livelihoods to achieve that. What do we do in our business? We know that climate change is upon us. We see the world getting warmer. We see climatic conditions like storms and winds getting a lot more robust. So what we've done is we've put in place programs to help our farmers be more efficient with soil conditions, understanding those conditions, using innovation, using research, using testing laboratories to be very precise around what farmers need to enhance soil conditions. Take that a step further. What do we need in terms of water? We measure the soil moisture conditions to ensure that we don't use too much water. There isn't excessive water, but there's the right amount of water for crop yield. And then we go further, to look at the condition of the crop, to look at the root structures, and from a very scientific, precise perspective, ensure that the crop is healthy. And ultimately, what it results in is an enhanced crop yield. So there's more food, there's more production, more food available to be consumed, and also more food available to be sold, which enhances livelihoods. Ultimately, what you find is less water, less chemicals, less energy, less CO2 emissions, and a better world.
Perhaps you can take us through what sustainability also then looks like in the other segments of your business, the mining segment as well as the broader chemicals.
Great. So, maybe what I'm missing is talking about our own production plants. So in our own production plants, what we do is we use recycled water. We have invested in reverse osmosis water technologies. We've also invested in alternative energy sources like solar and others, which one reduces the impact, the emissions impact, but also reduces strain on utility providers across the territories we operate in. So your next question was around our mining business. In our mining business, what we do is we help mines blast. We help them do larger and bigger blasts, which reduce downtime. And in doing that, we've been over the last number of years investing in various technologies to ensure that this is done on a more sustainable basis. I'll give you one or two examples. The first example is at our BME business. We used used oil in our emulsion instead of clean new oil. This results in our product being more stable. It results in our product being better for the environment. But what it also does, it enhances small businesses. It creates employment. It reduces CO2 emissions when a blast is done. And ultimately, it allows our mines to be more effective in what they do. Maybe to add to that, we also help mines do more precise blasts. So to be more precise around the fragmentation of the rock. And added to that, to be able to do larger blasts, more complex blasts with technology, with detonators and other programs that allows mines to be a lot more effective. I guess what we know is if we reduce the amount of energy, if we reduce the amount of effort needed to move the ore and the rock around, that enhances the productivity, it enhances the profitability of our mines.
Mm-hmm. And talking about the technology, naturally sort of advancements in this stage are critical for remaining relevant in any sector that we speak of. So perhaps can you talk to us a little bit about how Omnia is prioritizing investments in technology and the kind of sort of cutting edge advantages that you have seen it provide you?
So I think that the first thing to say, this move to be more sustainable is something that customers are wanting. It's something that society at large wants. And actually what we know, if we just look at the storms, the hurricanes, the heat we experience, it's something that we know is the right thing to do for the environment. So how do we as Omnia invest in this space? We invest in our people, firstly, from a agronomist, a chemist, a research and development perspective. We also invest in our laboratories to be able to test soil, to be able to test plant and leaf sap analysis. And we invest in data to understand the impacts of our solutions and our products on crop yield and blasts. I guess on an annual basis, we set aside hundreds of millions of rands to enhance the way we do things. We've invested in greener and cleaner products as well across the world. As an example, we've invested in a business called Hypex Bio. We bought roughly a 10% stake in that, a business which is able to do a blast without using ammonia. It's a cleaner blast. It's a more CO2 friendly blast. And we will continue to put a number of millions of dollars on an annual basis into R&D and innovation, and ultimately with the intent of leaving the world a better place.
Sure. And I imagine sustainability also including the pressing need for safety concerns, particularly within your sector in which you operate. So perhaps you can talk to us a little bit also, Seelan, about exactly the measures that Omnia is taking to not only remain effective and efficient in its way it does business, but also to ensure that safety is prioritized as part of the larger sustainability umbrella.
Yeah, Fefe, that's it's so important, Fefe, what you're saying is that we need to be able to, one, manage, all of these different dimensions we speak about. If we can't manage, I use the word manage, but I meant measure. If we can't measure it, we can't manage it. So we measure the impact we have on the environment from a sustainability perspective. But I guess if you then go to safety, safety is a core value in our business, and we believe that no ton of fertilizer, no ton of explosives, or no chemicals is more important than the safety of our people, of our customers, of our suppliers. So we measure a number of lead indicators, misses, things where we could have had a safety incident. We measure safety incidents when they do occur. We understand and measure and analyze our supply chain issues and our customers' issues. So safety is probably the most important value in our company. It's more important than any profit. And there's various metrics as we've got. I think our shareholders are demanding that. And, as our companies become more and more global and operate on a global stage, we put out more and more disclosure from a sustainability and a safety perspective. Our investors require this, our customers require this. And what pleases me the most, our staff is asking for exactly that. Our staff is doing what's right from a safety perspective and a sustainability perspective, not because we're telling them to do it, but because they actually want to do it. And that is so pleasing for us.
And just as we wrap up, it's difficult for anyone to really know what the future holds. Truth be told, no one really knows. But as the CEO of Omnia, how are you looking at the future path for the group right now?
Yeah, I guess from our perspective, we know that a sustainable business, a business that is doing what is right for its customers, its staff, its community, and its environment, is ultimately a business that will be profitable in the long term and a business that will be sustainable in the long term. Businesses that don't do right for the environment or customers or staff, or communities are not sustainable. So when we think about our future, we focus on doing what's right, and we focus on ensuring that our business practices are sustainable, because that will result in a profitable and sustainable Omnia in the years to come.
All right. So, Seelan, thanks so much for the really brief sit down, just letting us know what sustainability is looking like within your organization and some of the key objectives and areas in which you are prioritizing. We'll park the conversation there for now. Thanks once again to my guest, Seelan Gobelsamy, the CEO of Omnia, for joining us today. And as always, thanks to you, our audience, for joining in on the conversation. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.